Hello everyone, it's Laffy Traffy. Chapter 1028 of One Piece is out now, and it was kinda crazy. So if you haven't yet, feel free to go check out my reaction that I put out on Friday. That's my upload of my Twitch streams where I react live to the chapter, so feel free to go check me out on Twitch and Twitter for more One Piece content and catch me on my live reactions. But there's a break next week, so we'll be waiting a week for that. Maybe I'll just do a little One Piece stream next Friday, so go follow me over there if you want to come hang out and talk and chat. And, you know. And don't forget to subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and maybe by the time that we're at 1,000 subscribers, I'll remember to put Beppo on screen. Where is he? I think the cats tried to kidnap him. Point made. This is what I get. This is what I get. Well, we're gonna continue like this, I suppose, because she's just gonna be here. So yeah, with that all out of the way, let's dive into chapter 1028 of One Piece, Brachiosaurus, which the chapter name is as ridiculous as what's going to be coming up with said Brachiosaurus. But that's all later. We start the chapter off with the Cipher Pol agents talking to Rob Lucci. And at first, when I first read through this, I was under the impression that Rob Lucci was actually on the ships headed to Wano. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case though. With Kaku and Stussy there, I think that they're still at Marijois, and the dialogue that Rob Lucci has indicates that he's not with them, because he mentions the battleships are on their way, and I'm awaiting your report, and while you're there, capture Nico Robin. You know, all of these big things that are happening, Rob Lucci is kind of talking about them as if he's not involved in them. So unfortunately, I don't think Rob Lucci will be showing up on Wano, which is unfortunate, but his time is yet to come. Maybe he'll show up when it's clear that the Cipher Pol agents can't take back Wano. Maybe he'll show up. I'm not sure. But the point is, there is a large fleet of ships of the world government coming towards Wano to try to take it back under the banner of the world government. And they haven't been able to do so until then because of all the strong samurai and the strong leadership of like Orochi and Kaido, and even before that, the Kazukis themselves have always driven them away, and they weren't ever able to take the island by force. Now though, with Kaido and Orochi under attack and the giant raid happening right now with all the third parties coming in, all the strong samurai are being defeated, the beast pirates are becoming weakened, and with the eventual fall of Orochi and Kaido, there's going to be a huge power vacuum. And yes, Momonosuke is the rightful heir to that shogun title, but he still, although he's grown, he still is a child in heart, and I don't know if he's going to be the leader that they need immediately to mobilize all of the remaining samurai, however many left there are, and be able to fight off against the world government with all the battleships. Because not only are there battleships, because I assume, you know, maybe this is kind of putting some shit on the Cipher Pol, but I feel like a lot of the people on the ships that are coming are probably going to be pretty easy to defeat when it comes to, like, versus the Straw Hats or the Scabbards or the other allies. But we do still have, like, the leaders, the main guys of Cipher Pol Aegis Zero on Wano right now, so they're going to be the real threats that we have to focus on. And they're probably going to be the ones who are going to go directly after Robin. So we get in this chapter that whole plot thread that was introduced back on Zou, and even before that, Robin is a target for the world government, and has been since she was 6, since Ohara. You know, her entire life has led to the world government seeking her. Whether it be capturing her alive or just getting rid of her entirely, the Cipher Pol are going to soon mobilize. Whenever those ships, I guess, get to Wano is when the Cipher Pol are actually going to make their move. But they're going to go get Robin. Although I think it would be really interesting for her to get captured, and maybe like they have to go somewhere else. Maybe they have to go to Marijois. Maybe we're not even going to Elbaf. Maybe we're going to Marijois first to go get Robin back. But it's a little bit too much of a rehash for Enies Lobby. So I think what would be more interesting is the Cipher Pol do attack. I think it could be a really, really awesome moment where everyone besides the monster trio, so especially Brook, since he's side by side with Robin right now, protecting her from all the Beast pirates who are saying, oh, capture Nico Robin, and, you know, Robin's very thankful to have Brooke around, and they're having a really nice dynamic right now, but we do see that Robin is up on her feet and has recovered from her temporary exhaustion from using her devil form, which was super cool. I think it would be really cool to get more of a center feature against the Cypherpole agents who are super strong if all their big fighters, like Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, are all out of commission. We still have Jinbei. Jinbei is still seemingly doing fine, so he's obviously a top tier fighter, but, you know, Frankie, Usopp, Nami, and then, of course, Brooke, like I mentioned, and then Robin herself. I think featuring them would be really cool to get more from them and that dynamic of them doing everything they can to protect Robin. And succeeding, because that's the big difference, is back on Enies Lobby they weren't strong enough to keep Robin from being captured, and with the whole development on Zoe and Robin being very confident in her friends and her strong Nakama to keep her safe, it would be kind of unfortunate if she actually did get captured after that whole spiel about, oh, I have friends to protect me, so I'll be fine. You know, so I think that that plot point definitely has to come up, that the entire world government is after her, the Cypherpole agents, super strong, but still the Straw Hats are just that strong and they protect her and they keep her from being captured. Maybe that's what will spur on Lucci to be even angrier, and then we'll get that whole rematch between him and Luffy, but, you know, maybe I'm discrediting Lucci a bit, but with seeing how much Luffy has progressed in this arc alone, I find it hard to believe that Lucci's really gonna be putting up much of a fight, unless Lucci has just some crazy powers up his sleeve, or has, like, awakened his devil fruit, which is not unheard of. I don't know if Luffy is still the right matchup for Lucci, so maybe it'll be something different, but that's all my thoughts on the whole Robin getting captured thing, because I think that is a plot point that has to be explored sometime soon, because, you know, the end is near. I do want the Straw Hats to be able to stand their ground and prove that Robin does have strong friends and that she'll be okay. But we'll just have to wait and see about all that, because we're gonna be waiting, I think, a little bit longer for the Cypherpole agents who are in Onigashima to actually make their move. They're probably gonna wait for the forces to actually come to Wano so that they can all attack in one big swoop. And by that point, I feel like Kaido will be defeated, Orochi will be defeated, Luffy, Zoro, and, you know, Sanji we'll talk about in a little bit, but I feel like with the new Sanji development, maybe Sanji won't be as out of commission as we might think, because we'll talk about it. But they'll be waiting a little bit, so I think all of that will happen after the fact. This will be more of a post-Wano type mini arc, maybe? I don't know if it's going to be dragged out that much, but also can't forget about the Big Mom Pirates. They are still, I mean, hopefully they're above the waterfall by now. We don't really know. We haven't seen them since Marco knocked them off the waterfall, and we've just seen Perospero, which he's been defeated. So we don't know what the rest of the Big Mom Pirates are doing. They might see the world government fleet as an attack towards Big Mom or threatening her safety, so they might start fighting up against them. I feel like it would be a little anticlimactic if the Big Mom pirates are the ones to hold off the entire fleet of the world government, and from what we've seen, they're just kind of a little lackluster anyway, so I don't think that they would be able to do that, or plot-wise, that is how that they would be held off, but we're definitely going to get a big thing where I think Momo is going to shine in leading the remaining samurai to mobilize against the world government who are coming to take his now country from him. But moving on from the whole Robin captured plot, we get a little bit of Momo and Yamato, where Yamato was helping Momo kind of learn about his new powers and try to help him focus on what he needs to do to help Luffy, to help the Flower Capital, all this stuff with the falling Onigashima. But she apparently does not stay with him very long, which I thought was funny, that she went all the way over with him. She did help him a quite significant bit, and I'm not complaining that she's not staying with him, because, you know, I did want her to do much more in the arc after fighting Kaido, and I wanted her to be a little bit more integral than just an aide to Momo. But we see that here, where she jumps off his head and starts climbing up Onigashima, which I feel like she could have just asked Momo to drop her back up over there real quick. It would take him like 2 seconds to just stretch his head. But no, we see a really cool feat of her in hybrid form, scaling the mountain of Onigashima, and she gets up pretty quick, so it's not a plot point that she has to climb all that way. But she leaves Momo to go try to take care of the explosives that are held in the basement of Onigashima. And we see her full wolf form, which is a very graceful, very pretty look for her. And a very interesting point that I had missed during my reaction, but the heart pirates are on Onigashima now. But we have no idea how they got up there, because only Sachi, Penguin, and Beppo were on Onigashima proper. The rest of the heart pirates were on the shores down below with the submarine. But we clearly see Jean Bart here, and a lot of the other heart pirates who then see Yamato coming is like, wow, that's a huge wolf, holy crap. So that's where we end that scene. So maybe Yamato will talk to them, she'll probably just run right past them. That's just me wanting them to be more significant in the plot. Maybe they'll help Yamato with clearing out whatever the basement is. I don't know what that exactly means though. Is she going to start tossing gunpowder and explosives off Onigashima? That seems like what we don't want to happen, so I wonder what method she's going to use to actually take care of the possible explosives, that if Wano does fall, it'll at least mitigate the level of destruction. One thing that I heard that maybe would be really cool is that she uses kind of like an ice power to freeze over and kind of create a shell covering of the gunpowder and explosives so that it's maybe not as likely to explode. I'm not sure, but she definitely has a mission right now, and she's gonna go do it. So maybe the heart pirates can help her now that they're coming into contact, but I don't know if she even knows who they are, and they definitely don't know who she is, so that might just be a thing. But we don't know how the heart pirates got up there, which is weird. I've got no theories there on how they got up to Onigashima unless Momo took them up, but I feel like we would have been shown that, so maybe Law picked them up real quick, because like, oh, I'm fighting Big Mom, but oh, my crew's down there. Okay, let's bring them up real quick. Alright, back to fighting Big Mom. I don't know. But that's all we get with that. Again, Yamato's full wolf form is super, super cool. We see like the flames coming out and the long tail and her horns. It looks really, really cool. So I'm glad we got to see all of her 3 forms now. But moving on to the performance floor, we get Queen and Sanji, which is, as if the beginning of this chapter wasn't a great revelation and plot development, we get even more development here with Sanji and Queen, where Sanji's putting up a really great fight against Queen, going back and forth, but Queen is very focused on pressuring Sanji enough until he has to use the raid suit. Queen is very, I don't know if he's fanboying or trying to compare it to his own technology, but he's worked with Judge in the past, so he just wants to see what Vinsmoke technology for the raid suits have come to, how they've developed up till now. So he really wants Sanji to use in the raid suit, and I think it's funny that he's like, well, you used it on King, you know, why don't you use it on me? But the thing with Sanji in the raid suit now up to this point is that although he's used it 3 times now, the first time was purely for a disguise, so his identity wasn't outed for their plan because they had to stay undercover and he had to fight Page 1. The second time was the bathhouse when he found out about the invisibility, and that's Sanji, so he just used that for that goal. And then finally the third one is for subterfuge, where he tried to go undercover, go invisible, and sneak to get Momo out of there, which was a very desperate situation where Momo was about to be executed. So the 3 times that he used it, it was never to get stronger. It was a tactical advantage that he used the raid suit for, so he's still not wanting to use it. However, that usage of the raid suit, while it was minimal, has awakened something in Sanji that a lot of people were speculating about, and I'm not gonna pretend to try to explain exactly how that DNA lineage factor, genetical advancement works in the Vinsmokes or with the raid suit, but there's something in the raid suit that has awoken the dormant genes of the GERMA in Sanji. So, Sanji has been mentioning that his body has been feeling weird, and we get the Queen thing, which I'm not... They claim that it was a dinosaur thing. Queen thinks that it was because he's a brachiosaur that he could do what he did, but it's not. He's a cyborg, and that's what we're gonna go with. He's a cyborg who was able to detach himself from his own body and turn to a snake. That's all we're gonna talk about. And up to this point, Sanji and Queen have been going back and forth really well. We see a really cool grill shot where he gets like that burger pattern. The very well done grill marks on Queen's belly. So that was really cool to see Sanji holding his own against Queen even without the raid suit and without those enhancements that we're about to see. But yeah, Queen does the whole snake thing, roll credits, Brachiosaurus snakus, and Queen wraps Sanji around like a cobra and starts squeezing. And we also get a really hilarious gag where rocket launchers were attached to Queen's body, so once he detached from the body, he could hold up a victim, call out the brachio launchers, and have them shoot. But of course, Queen being Queen, he accidentally says it while he's bragging to Sanji about his brachio launchers, and they shoot him. And then he yells at his own body, which is his own technology, and says, "No, you're not supposed to shoot. You're supposed to shoot when I say brachio launchers as an attack," and then he gets shot again. So twice Queen shoots himself with his own rocket launchers, brachio launchers, and it's just a hilarious gag that really does damage to Queen too, is the hilarious part. Like, he's spitting out blood, he like falls down on the ground. It does some damage, so good for that, for Queen to have damaged himself so significantly in this fight. But that was Queen there, and that's just very Queen, so he can't complain about it. And I actually like Queen much more than King, just because of the dynamic personality that we get out of Queen, and the mad scientist vibes. However insane the outcome is. And it's so insane to see his like neck, spine, tail get shot out of his own body that we get amazing reaction panels that I didn't even recognize Marco in. But it's Marco and Izo and Kawamatsu, Chopper, Old Man Hyo, and the samurai. They're all doing the face as they watch what the hell Queen's doing. But just seeing Marco make that face is one of the best things. But yes, we fast forward and Queen had successfully crushed Sanji, and we see Sanji looking bent and twisted and broken, but he's standing, and immediately my mind went to what Yanji looked like when Sanji attacked him. Like it's almost like their outer body, it's not even durable, it's almost like it's just metal. So it can be bent and cracked, but they can just kind of pop it back out. And so we see Sanji, after Chopper calls him a zombie, like, oh, what the hell is wrong with you right now? His leg is crooked, his whole torso and ribs are cracked in half. Awful, awful things. And Sanji mentions that it does hurt, so there is like a drawback in some way to this very overpowered power-up that he gets. But he just pops himself back into place, and he's like, ah, well, ain't that neat. Wait, is this that shit that my siblings do? And so he gets mad, which I think is just that much funnier and goes against the grain of a normal anime power-up where they're like, yeah, I've been training and I've been waiting for this moment to unlock my power-ups that I've been working on, and this is my big time to shine. And he's like, this sucks, man. And then Queen, in the most epic display ever for Sanji, comes in with a big two-handed sword slash right at the back of Sanji, because Sanji's not even paying attention. That's how distressed he is at what is happening to his body, that he doesn't even notice. So with his back turned, nothing to defend himself with, Queen slashes at him and the sword breaks. And that was the greatest thing. A Yonko commander, big sword slash, like larger than life attack here, and it breaks in half, shatters the sword on Sanji, and Sanji just looks over like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, this sucks. I really don't want this power up. And Queen is just like, what? What is happening? So, Queen, you got your wish. You got to see some high-end, high-class GERMA technology firsthand with Sanji's development of hardened skin, which I think is such a great power-up for him. Again, emotionally, I see why Sanji is so conflicted, but realistically, he's had it in him all along, and now with this development, I kind of want to say that, you know, Diablo Jamba has been those genetics all along, and he's just said, like, oh, it's my passion, just because he probably doesn't really know what it is either, and he wouldn't think that it was the GERMA genes, being considered a failure all his life. So flame powers could be an additional GERMA power that he has because of the lineage, because we had the sparking red, we had the electric blue, the cinch green, and then poison pink. So maybe Sanji was the fiery yellow, but he also had invisibility, so I don't know if maybe Diablo Jamba really is just a passionate thing. Maybe it's part of his lineage, maybe it's just a Sanji thing, either way I think it works. But that ends out the chapter of 1028, where we see Sanji has awakened his hardened body and has gotten an extreme boost of power. I mean, just sit and think about a raid suit Sanji with the hardening abilities. I feel like that's pretty strong. I mean, he's already super powered up with his raid suit, and he can already fly everywhere, so he doesn't even need that technology. But with the cape and the invisibility, I think it was a great chapter for Sanji, and a great chapter for the development of Wano overall, with the whole Robin possibly getting captured, and now Yamato has gone elsewhere to try and minimize the catastrophe that could happen for Onigashima. We see the world government is mobilized, Rob Lucci's pulling the strings, we have the Cypher Pull agents in Onigashima just sitting and waiting until the fight is over, where everyone is gonna be down and out, and we're gonna have a big conflict here. With Sanji here, I feel like, unlike Zoro, who is definitely, after his fight on the rooftop, and then now his fight with King, he's definitely going to be out of commission because he's using those drugs to be up and moving right now at all. The minks themselves said, along with Chopper, that once this wears off, you're gonna be pretty rough, and there's gonna be a lot of recuperation required to get back to normal after this. So maybe the drugs will last until the Cypher Pull agents have left, but I feel like that's not as dramatic as him being totally out of commission, unable to do anything. Luffy might not be able to do anything after his fight with Kaido. With whatever power-ups that we get with him, that's definitely gonna probably take a toll on him, like I was saying earlier. You know, because Queen, they're just getting started. I was gonna say that Sanji might not be, you know, as down and out as we think, but we are just getting started, and Queen is, although silly, a formidable opponent. So I'm excited to see. I'm glad that we got last chapter a little bit of Zoro's fight, and now a little bit of Sanji's fight. I'm kind of disappointed that they've strayed from the 2v2 and have gone on to the one-on-one and one-on-one. But maybe that'll come all together, like I had said. Maybe towards the end, the two of them will launch their final attacks on the two Yonko commanders and finish out the battle that way. But we'll just have to wait and see, and we have a little bit to wait. I don't know what next chapter is going to have in store, if it's going to continue with one of their fights, if we're going to get Raizo and Fukurokuju, if we're going to get Orochi. We saw his sniveling face peeking out of the door earlier in last chapter, so maybe it'll be something with him. Maybe we'll go back up to the rooftop. Maybe we'll get the Big Mom kid-in-law fight. Maybe, probably not. But yeah, we'll just have to wait because we have a break next week, but the chapters will continue the week after that. So again, feel free to follow me on Twitch, where I do live reactions at 7 AM Eastern Standard Time, and also on Twitter for more One Piece content. And if you enjoyed my review of 1028 Brachiosnakis, then make sure you subscribe and like the video because it helps out a lot. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and I've got a particularly big project in the works. So make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified of that. But until next time, have a great day, follow your dreams, and check me next time. Bye!